Oh, wow. The 890 jumps are actually sold out.
Yeah, they sell out quick, huh?
Wouldn't have thought people would actually buy them because it's quite a useless ship, really.
It's good for org meetings.
Oh yeah, it has like all the amenities you'd expect for an org meeting.
Yeah, we've just gone live as well. But let me just finish that off. We also used it for um, a boxing match tournament uh,
Okay, I can see that.
inside the bar. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, let's kick off. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Screw News with me and Ace. How you doing, Ace? And as you can see, guys, we've changed the visual format of the podcast. So I hope you guys like it. For those that watch us on YouTube, and we're streaming this as well because why not? So let's start off with the headlines, and really the biggest and best news this week was from Star Citizen Live, and Mr. Todd Pappy himself came on, and when Todd Pappy speaks, Monster 69 listens. In fact, I have to say, out of the three kind of big wigs in Star Citizen, you got Chris Roberts, you got Tony Z, and you got Todd Pappy. Um, Chris Roberts, obviously, the ideas man. Tony Z, he works on all the big picture sort of engines and systems that work in the back end. And Todd Pappy's the guy that where the rubber hits the road, he's the guy that is responsible for the look and the feel and the direction of the game. So ultimately, as users and consumers of the game, I feel that Todd Pappy's got like the biggest impact on my day to day life in Star Citizen. So, um, yeah, I love it when Todd Pappy speaks. His presence. I'm just look at me. I'm just blowing smoke up Pappy's butt. But I love you, Todd Pappy. His presence, his calmness, and his honesty are really really refreshing. So. He's the game director of the PU for those that don't know. So it was awesome. It was awesome. So let's get stuck into the headlines. And I know, Ace, you haven't seen the episode yet, so I'll take you through it.
It.
Yet, yes, it's definitely worth watching. Highly recommend it. So it was all about 317. It was all about 317, and I think you're going to be happy with this, Ace. I think one of the things that's coming in 317 is we get a hailing the air traffic controller button.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be super useful.
Yes. Um,
It, I mean, it's just a quality of life upgrade. It's not like we can't call them right now, but yourself, open Moby Glass, search for friends, look for the ATC, call them.
yeah, exactly, dude.
At the
It's
push of one button, it's gonna be awesome.
yeah, exactly. So we get to hail air traffic controller just with the push of a button, as Ace just said. For those that don't know, I always like to go about this podcast with, just in case there's someone that hasn't played Star Citizen or doesn't know much about it at the moment when we, need request permission to land, we literally go into our Mobi Glass, which is like a smartphone strapped to your wrist, and then we go into the communications app and to the friends list, and then we are don't ask me why it's the friends list, but and then we ask permission to land, which is a little bit clunky. It's kind of like coming into land at an airport and the Boeing pilot or whatever gets out his smartphone, opens up an app, and then looks through his friends list for the airport that he's landing at. So massive quality of life edition. So big tick for that one. Thank you, CIG. Um, the next sort of topic that they were talking about was refueling. So just so you know, Ace, they were asked, is all the kind of fuel tanks and refueling rates or whatever, was that all going to get changed and refactored in 317, considering that refueling is being introduced? And he said yes. He said, "Yep, we're going to go through the Evocati stage and have a look, and then tweak some numbers on some ships. And if we need to keep iterating on that, we will." He's kind of Todd Pappy's sweet spot of fuel tanks was about 1.5 to 2 hours of flying, Ace. So he wants you to kind of roughly refuel at every couple of hours or 1.5 hours. Is that
Sounds fair enough.
yeah? And refueling beacons, they will be in. So if you run out of fuel, you could put out a service beacon. Um, that won't be in 317 when it gets released. It will be released in 317.x. So we will have refueling beacons coming out there as well, which is awesome. A very interesting question, Ace, was the Hull A, and this is where Spectrum's really smart, man. And some of the questions that comes, I'm like, wow, that's a really thoughtful question. Um, you know the Hull A's, Ace. You know how the cargo is external, as we spoke about last week, um, and when you've got the external cargo, the ship kind of expands, and when it doesn't have cargo, it kind of sort of contracts onto itself. So
Yeah,
someone
it's
So someone asked, when you bedlog in a Hull A, which has got full load of cargo, so you log out in your bed and you log back in, does that cargo kind of disappear and does the ship kind of retract onto itself? That was the question. And because I think it's easy in a ship where the cargo's inside to just maintain the cargo, but I don't know. Maybe it's a bit harder. I thought it was a smart question, but anyway, they said that they're looking to have it in a way where yes, you keep your cargo and the ship maintains its form when you relog back in. Anyway, um,
well, it's what makes sense, really.
yeah. The other thing was selling, Ace. Selling. So they asked, can you sell stuff that's attached to your account? What would you think, Ace, would be the answer?
What do you mean, like store-bought stuff?
Yeah, from real world stuff, like maybe subscriber flare or stuff that you've bought in the shop with real money. Can you sell
Oh, I
them?
don't think we. I don't think so.
Boom. Correct, mate. I'm putting you on the spot, Ace. I'm trying to wake you up, but you did well. You passed.
Yeah, no, I mean, now it's a totally different system in the background. I'd assume.
Correct, yeah. So anything that's attached to the web, or I mean outside world, if you like, you will not be able to sell with the new selling mechanic that's coming in. So that's pretty awesome. They
How
are
about stolen stuff? Like,
definitely, definitely.
if you steal subscriber gear from some dude, can you sell that? That's the question.
Ooh, that's a good question. They didn't answer that specifically. That's a good question, dude.
Well,
Yeah,
if we can't, that's the moment to start a collection of helmets of enemies. You know.
yeah, yeah. That's a real good question. And again, this is just my take on the Star Citizen live episode, guys. So go and check it out. Highly recommend it. I just pulled out the points that I think are really important. But if anyone's into the project, please go check it out. I'm sure most of you have. So someone asked, "Is 317 going to get wiped?" And Todd Pappy was a bit bit on the fence. He said their intention is not to wipe, right? But they haven't had the discussions yet as to whether or not they're going to wipe. So it's probably 80% chance that they won't wipe. But if they get in a meeting, who knows what's going to pop up. Someone might say technically they have to wipe, or strategically they have to wipe. So hopefully there won't be a wipe. A lot of people are expecting a wipe because kind of economy is being a little bit revamped with being able to sell things, the loot. All the shops are getting all their stuff changed. There's going to be a lot of stuff, not a lot, but there'll be a few items in the shop that are being pulled out, Ace, and you can only find them in the real world. So a lot of the shop inventory is going to get changed and reshuffled. So, but having said that, they said that there might not be a wipe, which is great. The Cyclone MT and the Archimedes are going to be added in the store game, so you can buy them in the game in 317 for those that want to save up for a Cyclone MT or a Archimedes. There was a funny moment about the coffee vendor, and this is where Todd Pappy's honesty just comes through. They're like, "So the coffee
Oh,
vendor."
you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Oh, am I? Sorry. Is that better? Testing 1 2 3. Hello. Let me just. Can you hear me, Ace? I'm just going to join back in on Discord. Can you hear me now? Ace. Uh, Testing 1 2 3. I seem okay on my end.
No, no, no. Now I can hear you.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So where did you miss out? Where was I rambling on about? Did you hear about the
Archimedes and
Cyclone
the
MT?
MT being in the shop stores.
Yeah, so they're going to be back. Not back, but they'll be available in the shop stores, which is great. And then there was a funny moment about the coffee vendor. Um, so people ask, is the coffee vendor just a reskinned bartender? Is there anything special about the coffee vendor? And Todd Pappy honestly just said, no, there's nothing special about it at all. In fact, the coffee vendor was a project of a new designer, a rookie designer, if you like, and that designer had just happened to finish the coffee vendor, and we put it in the game. Nothing special about it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything special. It's a coffee vendor after all.
Yeah. Are you a coffee drinker, Ace?
Not really.
No, I can't.
Not really.
I can't function. Are you a tea drinker?
Not really.
No. Fair enough. And then two big things, Ace. Two big things. I mean, this patch is turning out to be juicier and juicier as I learn more and more about it. So, when I stream, dude, I title most of my streams Desync, the final frontier, right? Because Desync bothers the hell out of me. And I think this game will not survive if it continues to feel like it does today. So a desync improvement has been implemented. Evercardi have given good feedback on it, and Todd Pappy just expanded a little bit more about it, and it kind of showed the complication of it in a way. So he said synchronization. He mentioned synchronization can happen along the axis of time, like time synchronization or position synchronization. And he's saying that in what you're experiencing today in the PU is not a position desync, it's a time desync. And it's almost like a balance that you push a slider towards time or position, it seems. It seems to be like, this is what I got out of it, like the physical limitations of the real world was it you push this kind of parameter towards time or position. So what they've done is they've pushed it more towards positional desync a little bit and less time, and that's had some positive impacts according to Evercardi at the moment. He said
That's good.
Yeah, yeah, man. So he said adjusting it towards or trying to synchronize time means you might see a little bit of the the ship stuttering a little bit, but it won't kind of teleport around as much or something. So it seemed like a bit of give and take. It wasn't. I didn't get the sense of like, oh, we fixed this and then we're going to fix that. It was a and I think desynchronization and latency and people's positions around the world and their internet links and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah, obviously is a limit to what they can actually do.
yeah, yeah, I got a real sense of that. So that was a big thing, and I really, really love the fact that um, that they that they did that. The other thing, the other big thing that I didn't even know about, dude, was they said that quantum. You know Tony Z's quantum or quanta system, the economic system, Ace.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember. It was a long and extensive, complicated video.
yeah. So that, that's being introduced into the PU in 317. Not all of it, just a small part of it. But in essence, 317 means that Quanta is live. Not live, but being active or being born.
Does this mean we get like fluctuating prices for commodities and armor and weapons and
I'm definitely glad you asked that. So they've only activated Quanta for three resources, if you like. That includes hydrogen fuel, quantanium fuel, and the cost of repair. So I don't know.
interesting?
Yeah, I don't know how the cost of repair I think fluctuates depending on and a lot of this refueling and quanta focusing on this stuff I think has a lot to do with they said it has we're preparing for pyro, right? All this refueling stuff and quanta again being focused on what seems to be refueling and ship repair has a lot to do with pyro coming in. So I would suspect it's a lot more expensive to repair your ship in pyro.
Yeah, I would assume so. Like availability of materials and such should have an impact
Yeah,
on the price you pay.
yeah. So that's really the big ticket items, guys, on the Star Citizen live this week, and really the biggest news in Star Citizen this week. Now there is a St Patrick's Day sale going on, but before we do that, we'll just go around the table, Ace, and our normal what if you had any chance to play this week, what you got up to, what ship you flew. Um, did you have any chance at all to play SC
I
this week?
played once for like maybe 10 minutes, and that was just to give my buddy some extra cash so he could buy himself a mole.
Oh, nice. So your buddies, and was he able to buy them all?
He was able to buy them all and has been mining ever since.
Oh,
He
very
said he's
nice.
gonna get rich doing this, so good, good
Good
on
on
you.
him. Yeah. Is this guy ex? Is he? I know because you guys are a bunch of pirates and PvPers and stuff. Is he like PvPer that wants to start mining? Or I don't like to use that,
Hey,
but
that one is not a PvP player.
right. Okay. Yeah. He's a
He
miner.
was just looking for a new game loop really, and he hadn't mined really until now. So
Yeah. Nice, man. You did. You served humanity this week
yeah, charitable work. We steal from the rich and we give to the
to your
space needy.
friend. um, did he get any? Do you know what he got? Like, did he get the normal standard mole, or I've got a white mole? I forgot what it's called. The Taurus
I think
mole or
it's
something.
just the one you can buy in game. I don't think you can buy the other two.
Ah, of
It's
course. Yes. Yeah. Silly question. Yeah, he got the orange one, I would assume. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
a
Awesome.
workhorse.
That's it. That's it. The brick, the flying brick. Um,
I like the orange on the ships, on the Argo ships. It really gives them that industrial feel
yeah,
because they all have that same color. It's like what's that brand called? Caterpillar
yeah.
in the real world with the yellow stuff. So the Argo are some of the coolest designed ships in the game, actually, in my opinion.
Me too.
They really feel as they are supposed to feel.
Me too. I melted my Argo raft only because my love for Drake supersedes it, and I've got a Caterpillar, and I don't want to have multiples of ships. That's one promise I made myself. If I've got a logistic ship that's a certain size, I don't want another one. But oh, I love the Argo raft. I love the interior of it. It's just
Give
so
me a
nice.
second, door just rang.
No worries, mate. So yeah, guys, that sums up a very, very interesting Todd Pappy interview. So if you haven't seen the video, again, guys, please go and watch it. When Todd Pappy speaks, it it's the best. Um, so next, we're going to get into the sale that's on at the
Sorry.
moment. That's all right, mate. We're going to go through the sale that's on now. So we've got a St. Patrick's Day 2022 Seize the Day sale. I'm just going through the website at the moment. And I said this in my last podcast that it annoys me that we are strictly using today's holidays to kind of replicate holidays in the lore of the verse, but I kind of understand it because it's great marketing opportunity, and the more revenue that comes into the game, the better it is for everyone. So I do understand it. I just think, yeah, but at least with St. Patrick's Day, um, it the actual story behind St. Patrick's Day in this case is, uh, it's I like it. I like it. Put it that way. It's not an exact replication of we're celebrating, the folk of Ireland and da 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 da, which wouldn't make sense in the year 2949. It's called Stella Fortuna, and it's based around the settlement of Mars succeeding, and celebrating that humanity took a risk, took a gamble, and succeeded in that gamble. So Stella Fortuna is mainly celebrated on Mars with massive parades and stuff, but all of humanity kind of partake in that holiday, and they celebrate that day, and it's about being brave, breaking down frontiers, um, discovering new worlds, going on new business ventures, maybe even stepping out of your own comfort zone as an individual. So it's got a very good theme to it. I do like Stella Fortuna as a concept. Um, so
Yeah, but it sounds like a holiday that could exist in the future. Like,
yeah, I think, how I was kind of always with these other holidays. I was always like, would someone who lives on Terra and has lived there for like 400 years, would they give a crap about anyone on planet Earth and their culture? Your answer would be no, right? Every planet, not even every planet, every region of a planet would almost have its own culture and stuff. That's how humans
yeah,
work.
pretty much. But
Yeah,
this one could work for everybody.
exactly. Because this is all about all of humanity. Like, this is like people that don't live on Mars would be like, we're celebrating that first settlement that made made it possible to live on another planet, and that's how we got on our planet ultimately. Um, and everyone who lives on Earth would have the same sort of celebration of, this is how humanity
Finally, we
expanded.
got rid of all the weirdos. Yeah.
That's it. Hey Barry, how you doing, mate? Don't at me, Moz. I like the green. No worries. Oh, Barry likes the green. Yes.
I do too, actually. The green is not. It's not. not too aggressive.
I love the green. Yeah,
Looks great actually.
yeah. I've
And in
got it.
some lights it looks almost gray. It's pretty cool skin.
Greens. We're doing well, Barry. Thanks for asking, mate. Welcome to our podcast, Skeleton Crew News with Ace. So, um, yeah, this green's one of my favorite colors, man. I love purple as well, but for my organization, the Skeleton Crew, when we were voting on org colors, and thankfully we ended up on purple and black, which are my two favorite colors. But yeah, I wouldn't have minded if we went green as well. But there you go. Um, so I'm just scrolling down, mate. There is some ships for sale, and I think Barry, you got one as well, right? Yes, Barry did. You got the 400i actually. So we've got the 400i skin, the Fortuna paint for $12.10 US cents. We've got the 600i Fortuna paint for 17.60, and the Mercury Star Runner Fortuna for 12.10. I want to be honest with you, Ace. I'll tell you what bothers me about this. I want I don't even care about hex codes because I want revenue for Star Citizen, right? And
Yeah.
if skins is a revenue for Star Citizens, go for it. Let's do it SC, and I'll buy skins as well. And look, these are very simple skins. They're just a color. I get it. But if people were going to buy it, then so be it. People are not forced to buy this stuff. If Star Citizen or CIG find out that, you know what, no one's buying this stuff, well, they'll get more creative, and they'll do more creative skins. Like, they're very, very basic. It probably took someone 20 minutes to create this stuff. Fair enough. But if it sells, it sells. Why am I going to complain about that, right? That's very arrogant of me to complain about that. The only thing that bothers me though, bro, is $12 US for a skin is a bit expensive, which is fine. Again, if people pay for it, they pay for it. What I don't like is this smoke and mirrors price increase of the bigger ships. Like 600i is a little bit bigger than the 400i, so the skin is like $5 more expensive.
Yeah, it's not very based on reality or anything.
Yeah, I mean
It's
that's that.
just
Give us the sales pitch, give us this simple skin, but don't. That's like one step too far for me, you know. Like that's like, and if you want the Carrick skin, it's going to be $25. If you want 890 jump, it'll be $30. Like, yeah, um,
it's not like they're actually using more paint, so
no,
that doesn't really make sense.
no, exactly right.
Yeah, not entirely sure what guides that decision to begin with, like to have different pricings for skins. I mean, $10 is expensive enough for any skin really,
Yeah.
and they
So
should all price them the same. But
yeah,
yeah, who am
yeah,
I to tell them?
yeah. If it sells, then again, who am I to complain? If it sells, it sells. Barry says, I just found out there are several locked behind another pack at the 484 War Bond. Yeah. Fortuna Legends. Okay. I didn't know that. So you can get all three of them in a bundle for $33.44. And then you can buy the ships with the skins. How much LTI is on this stuff?
That's a good question.
6 month, 6 month insurance with the
Oh,
paint. Yeah,
so basic insurance really.
basic. Yeah. So the 400i is $287 US. Is the 600i is $496 US. The 600i Exploration is 540 US. I'm actually not. I don't know the difference between the touring and the exploration model of the 600i. I need to go. look at that a bit deeper.
Not entirely sure myself either,
Yeah,
because I don't play Origin. So
yeah. Probably some sort of radar or scanning, maybe. I don't know. But and the Mercury is 298. Are they all 6 month?
yeah,
Also
Mercury is also six
6 month.
months. Just checked.
Yeah. Yeah, so guys, that's the latest sale. There's also Fortuna Legends pack. That's what you were talking about there, Barry. Explorer has a larger CCU. Thanks, Barry. There you go. Explorer's got more space. We've got the Fortuna Legends pack for $484, and that comes with, is that the Tally and the MT and the, what? Wait a second.
The Connie Phoenix, Ursa Rover, the Kruger P-72 Archimedes, and the Tumbril MT.
Okay, yep. It's
It's actually
consolation.
quite a nice pack.
It is, yeah. I don't know why you can't get the. If the MT is going to come green and the Ursa Rover green, it'd be good if you could buy them separately as well, I would think. But Fortuna Legends pack has been sold out.
Well, Warbond has limited stock left, apparently.
Yeah. What's the difference? Oh, that's War Bond. Okay, cool. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's
fresh
in
money.
game. Yeah, fresh money, money. Obviously, or not obviously, but also the 100 series Origin ships. So it's very Origin themed this year. Fortuna, Stella Fortuna. We got the 100i for $55, 125A for 66, and the 135C, and the 300
100i,
series.
300i, and the 890 was up for sale again, but it's gone.
Yeah, 890s sold out, ladies and gents. Look at that, 979 War Bond. How much? We are going to do an episode on our thoughts on LTI. Ace, I want your opinion on it, but not this episode, but well, next week's probably. I want to get stuck into what you think about insurance. Um, so yeah, and then there's a whole bunch of gear and stuff that is available. Can you hear me, Ace?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happening.
must be the internet. But
Yeah.
yeah, all right, cool. So that goes through the sale of what's on now, guys. Stella Fortuna. If you would like green ships, if you like Origin ships, um, or the Mercury, or the 890 jump, then this is the sale for you. Seize the day, as they say. Um, so Ace.
Got some?
No, I didn't. I'm not an Origin guy, man. If there was some sort of Drake ship, I do have a green Buccaneer skin. I got, I think. I don't know if it was from last year's Stella Fortuna.
No, it's the Halloween one.
Oh, was that the Halloween one? Yeah. Did that
Yeah.
Halloween had green
Yeah, I got
skins?
the green skin for. Yeah, it had like those ghostly green skins. It's slightly different green. It's more
Okay.
like on a beetle,
Okay.
that
Yep.
pearlescent green.
Yes. Yeah.
These greens are different. They're like darker and
Slightly
well, I
different
think
green.
they were also pearl. I'd
Right.
have to check it out. I bought the green skin for the MSR, but I didn't look at it yet. So
Yeah. Slightly different green skin. That's hilarious, man. Um, all
it's
right.
slightly different.
Okay, man. I wanted to wade into a subject that's been sort of happening on Spectrum and get your thoughts on it. So, there's been a lot of talk on Spectrum over the last week or so about this PvE versus PvP stuff. Um, some people have been asking for dedicated PvE servers, And some people have been asking, or actually, I believe even Chris Roberts might have mentioned there might be a PvP slash PvE slider. Um, and there's been a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of people arguing for and a lot of people arguing against. Um, I want to, before I get stuck into it, I want to make sure people know my background. I'm, I'm, I I don't like using PVE versus PvP. I don't like pigeonholing. I always, I'm not left wing, I'm not right wing. I find when you speak to people who say I'm right wing or left wing, as an example, you find elements of left wingism in them, in some of their specific ideas, and you find elements of right wingism. Like you can't like pigeonhole human beings into a label of PVE, PvP, in my belief. And I always view Star Citizen as a PVX game. Um, and I started off this journey in Star Citizen as mainly doing logistics and mining, but I've always been used to being attacked by other players, having to defend myself, having to think before I take off. Where am I going? Is it a hotspot? Let me check out the chat. Kind of preparing, before I go. So Star Citizen's really taken me out of my comfort zone, and that's why I dearly, dearly love this game. And now I'm, watching Avenger 1 videos and going to Arena Commander, and I'm not shying away from battle at all. And that's why I will always love Star Citizen, because it's pushed me out of my comfort zone. I jump into Star Marine, and I'm learning and slowly getting better as a PvP player. And when I have my moments of victory, it's one of the most ecstatic feelings I get in Star Citizen. I've killed people in other games, but for some reason with Star Citizen, I get the most ecstatic feeling for some reason. And so I am by nature. I want to be a logistics driver. I want to be a miner, but I also, if needs be, want to be able to protect my friends in the verse if I have to. That's my background before we delve into this very divisive topic. So I'll ask you your opinion. I'll try and chunk it down, then I'll ask your overall opinion, Ace. So, in regards to dedicated PvE servers, um, or actually, you know what? I'm going to let you just. I don't want to shape or form
Yeah,
your argument. Do you want me to ask you a question, or do you want to have a rant? You tell
no,
me.
you just ask your question. You just ask your
Okay,
question.
okay. Because I didn't want to temper your if you had something on your mind. So the notion of PVE servers, so dedicated PVE servers where people can go play the game and not be under the threat of any other player. What are your thoughts on PVE servers?
I would be okay with PvE servers, with the idea of PvE servers, if the environment that's actually in there is even more dangerous than the player versus player thing.
Right.
Because I think if you lose out on all the, well, you got to think about what you take with you, where you go, if this zone is safe or whatever. It's just moving cargo from A to B at the end of the day, and that's not fun to anybody.
Yep. Yep.
So no, there needs to be a risk. There needs to be decision making. That's the point of the game. It's not. And the other option would be like taking the space bus from one point to the other. That's basically what you would be doing. So yeah, PPE, if they do it, has to be even harder than what people are used to in the
Yeah. It's funny.
in the current version.
Okay, it's funny that you say that, because when I sort of give my final opinion on this, a lot of what you just said kind of resonates with kind of the fact that, you know, the game's not even close to being finished. So there's a lot of systems, including the AI, the missions, the difficulty of the missions, the balancing of the missions, the variety of the missions, all that stuff. We're playing this game without all that stuff at the moment. So, um, do you know what I mean? There's less stuff keeping people
Yeah, yeah,
busy, and that's interesting that you said that. It kind of is parallel to something I'm thinking of as well. What about are you afraid of like the player base like being split
no,
up?
and I'm
No.
not really. I mean, yeah, of course, there's people who get angry when they get attacked, but I think it's also kind of a little bit of the charm it has. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, always having the possibility to get attacked by someone or be surprised in some kind of way. If they take that out, it's
But no, but
taking
what?
something from the game. I mean,
Yeah, no. What I meant was, do you think if they had PVE only servers that the players being split up would
oh yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of soft players, let's call it that. Like they they'd be happy with just shoveling cargo onto their ships and bringing it to another port, and that's it.
yeah,
But I don't think that's what Star Citizen is supposed to be. That's just boring.
yeah,
Sorry, but you can play Excel
yeah,
and like create Excel sheets with the same amount of excitement. So
yeah,
no, I'm absolutely against it. I
yeah,
think they should leave it in. And also no PvP sliders because not optional. Like
yeah.
you always have, we already have a PvP slider, so to say. If someone wants to engage in PvP, just jump away.
Sure. Yeah,
Done.
yeah,
That's the problem though. Most people won't jump away. They will engage in a fight even if they are in a cargo ship, and yeah, that's what usually lands them dead. It's med bay.
yeah. I mean, I tend to agree with you. Like PvE servers, my only hesitation, Ace, is that the number of players on the, let's say, PvP servers would massively reduce. That's my only hesitation. Because now you've got players split amongst two different systems, and as this, as the universe gets bigger and bigger, and space between people gets bigger and bigger, I definitely do not want an Elite Dangerous type of feel where, and I know this game's got a long way to go before it replicates the Milky Way, but I don't want to feel of having only, let's just say, on the scale of Stanton, 20 people on a server because everyone's on the PVE server. I don't mind people just playing PVE. I have nothing against it at all, but I'm worried about my child, which is the game, and the number of players that would be on a PvP. I don't even want to call it PvP. It would be a PVX server. You would have PvE servers, in my opinion, and PVX servers. You wouldn't just have a PvP server. The verse would be the same in both worlds, so there'll be a lot of PvEing in the PvP server, if you like. But it's a PVX server, really. So I just hope it doesn't have that impact. And when people say on Spectrum, "Oh, you guys are afraid of PVE servers," I am absolutely. If if the numbers die out on the PvP stuff because there's just so few players, then I think the core magic of Star Citizen disappears. And then you're playing a game, in my opinion, that you can kind of get the same sort of stuff from No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous, X4 Foundations. You can get the same sort of, you know, experiences on a PvE server. I think the magic of Star Citizen for me is player interaction. Super magical.
Absolutely agree there.
And not always just co-op player interaction. That can only go certain distance. But when you meet another aggressive player, in my opinion, I mean, the excitement goes through the roof and the adrenaline goes through the roof. And it doesn't have to be toxic. It doesn't have to be crappy. Um, but I think that's the magic of Star Citizen, and having a PVE only server. You know, if it drains the
It would certainly take from the game.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. I actually don't know why people. Sometimes I get confused. I'm like, hey PPC. That's right, exactly, mate. Um,
There's an easy solution for that question. Just don't stream while you're playing and
exactly.
give away your position.
Yeah, no, me and PPC had a great time. He was literally stream sniping me last night, but he taught me. We're going off topic here, but stream sniping's a big topic as well on Spectrum, and people are like abusing streamers, like they're not special, they shouldn't complain, and blah blah blah. But Ace, this guy showed me how you stream snipe with class. He really did. So the first thing he did, PPC, was because I've been stream sniped by all sorts. We've kind of gone off topic about PvE, PvP, but hey, whatever. We'll get back to that. I want to give you my take on it. So let me just wrap up. Let me get back. Let me just wrap up. Let me just wrap up. So back to PvP, PvE. So I think at the moment, I don't want a PvE, PvP slider. If the world had to do this, if we had to go ahead with this, I would prefer PvE servers and PvX servers. The reason I don't want a slider is I don't know how the slider will work, so you have to excuse my ignorance. But I don't want to be like flying around in this world or this universe, and then there are these logistic ships or mining ships that are there, but they're kind of indestructible. Like they've got
Yeah,
the
that would suck.
yeah, they've got the PvP flag off, which means they're just indestructible. That would really ruin my immersion. And again, I'm not a hunter, guys. I'm not a PV. I'm not he. I don't kill any prospectors. I don't do any of that stuff, right? I want to make sure you guys understand that. But knowing that that thing is indestructible and can't interact or shoot at or get shot at makes it like a ghost in that universe. And that would just be weird for me. I would rather that player go elsewhere and play on a PvE server and off you go, have a great time. But then that'll split up the player base. So I would, yeah, I don't want a PvP slider. And I think Chris Roberts spoke about a PvP slider, dude. Ace, is that right? Do you know?
I've never heard that he'd said anything about it, and I don't want neither nor.
Yeah,
Just keep it as it is.
yeah,
PVX is fine.
yeah. Do you want to give it
You don't
back?
want to engage in a fight, just jump away, man.
Yeah.
Just jump away.
And speaking to PvPers, right? This is the thing. Sometimes I'm going to flip the script a little bit, balance out the argument. PvP players in these type of games are not just PvP players. They're PvX players. All of
Yeah.
them earn money by grinding missions. All of them are going to be doing missions to grind out their reputation. A lot of PvP players do a lot of PvE. So there's an we're not two separate people, you know. We're slightly different, but there's there's a there's a commonality between all of us. No PvP player, unless you play PUBG or like Fortnite, you are interacting with PvE. You know, a lot of PvPers might go mining to earn money, might do missions, might do box drops. When they run out of money, they don't go and just kill other players. They grind out PvE. So PvP players are not just PvP players. They are PvX players. So, you know, don't look down upon PvE players. Like you don't what the thing that really I find really adds to the toxicity is this looking down like I'm a better player because I'm a PvPer. You're too scared, you're too soft, you're too whatever. But ultimately you're a PvEer as well, but you also do PvP. So and that's where we should look to see like common ground between the two groups instead of just drawing this strict line down the middle and choosing a side. Back to the PvEers though, you know when you play this game, Ace, you you spend 10 minutes getting onto your ship. You get onto your ship, you might spend another half an hour going buying a ship component. Then let's say you do logistics, you get onto logistics, and then you some bug hits you and you can't get on your ship, or your ship falls through the planet, or whatever the bug is, right? Or a 30k happens and you've just lost 35, 45 minutes of your time, right? That happens a lot at the moment. Okay. Now, if you go out mining and a player comes out and shoots you, I just sort of say to PvEers, pure PvEers, there's no, like, at the moment, because there's no proper criminal systems at the moment, a guy can come out and kill you, and yeah, he can get a crime stat and he can go to jail, but he still kind of lives free in the universe, and that's because the systems are not in place. The law systems are not in place. So, as a PVEer that might get killed now and then by a player, I just ask that you have the mindset that treat that lost time like a bug, like you just had a 30k or something, because as the game progresses, they're going to add more and more mechanics and systems that if you're in a safe system, like Stanton, for example, you'll be safer than you think. You'll have, for example, if someone becomes a criminal in Stanton, maybe they'll have AI just relentlessly pursuing them. So they can't just, you know, sit on top of a hill and wait for you to come down to mine and then just pop you, right? For them to get to you while they're getting hassled by all of these in-game systems, they have to do a lot of work. And then you might see a lot of reduction in, just getting kind of killed for no reason. But if you go to Pyro, then, all bets are off. It's a criminal system. It's ruled by piracy. And you know all of this intelligence before you even take off. So you can have this option of, I want to be safe. I want to just do PvE. So I'm going to stay in the safe systems, and my chance of being killed is very low. But if I do get killed, why can't I equate that to getting killed by a PvE ship that kills me, right? Um, so
That's the thing I don't get. It's not like there won't be like random encounters and your ship getting swarmed by AI pirates or whatever. That's already in, so I'm not
exactly,
entirely sure why people is asking for PvE servers exclusively. I mean, yeah, fine, do it if it's really what they want to do, but in that case, make it even harder than it is in
E-
the usual PU.
exactly, exactly. And like you say, you're okay with PvE servers as long as the difficulty is raised, and by that you mean proper AI, proper systems, um, proper missions and things like that, which make it a little bit more difficult. So if you're a Caterpillar pilot, and there'll be risky routes even on a PvE server. The quanta mechanic or whatever will say this is a risky route or that's a risky route because so many people are making profits, and they'll throw AI at you. They'll throw AI at you. AI pirates will come at you left, right, and center on these routes, and you could die. So at the
The
moment,
the the oh, what would be the only difference? Like people ranting in chat about it. That's the
yeah,
only difference. You'd still get shut down, and you'd still be angry you lost your 45 minutes of mining time or whatever.
yeah,
But nothing would change. Nothing would really change. So
exactly.
it's a pointless discussion, really. Just leave it as it is, and we'll all have fun and be nice to each other or shoot each other.
Yeah, yeah. Um, exactly. I mean, if you wanted a pure PvE game, why would you even play Star Citizen is kind of what I wonder, because there's so many games out there that are completed, stable, and provide so much more PvE content, like astronomically, like No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous and X4. You could. They're completed games. Like, why wouldn't you play them if you just want PvE? Um, you can play co-op No Man's Sky as well. So it sounds a bit cheesy, me saying, why don't you go play another game? But again, I'm not against it. I just fear for the player count being diluted if we have two separate systems. And the PvE, PvP slider doesn't really work for me either. And again, the most magical moments I've had in this game is interacting with other players. Absolutely interacting with other players has been the best.
It's definitely the most exciting times in Star Citizen when you encounter somebody and you have to actually watch what's happening, what's going on here. Oh, are there more ships? Is it just that one ship showing right now? You don't know.
Yeah,
That's what makes it interesting.
yeah, exactly, mate. So that's kind of my take on it, Ace. Did you have anything more that you wanted to add? You're a PvPer predominantly, is that correct?
Really, PBX is pretty much what you explained earlier is pretty much my playstyle. Of course, I engage in PvP, but it's not all the time. I need to make money
Yeah,
too, like everybody else. So that's not an option. I mean, it's not like we're getting paid just to shoot people.
yeah,
Sometimes you do, but I don't really like doing bounties because I think they are unfair, but that's a different topic.
yeah, yeah. I mean, to summarize, dude, I'm a PVXer. That's what I stand by. I'm not a PvE or a
Yeah,
PvPer. I'm a PVXer. The most magical moments in this game are when players collide and interact. Um, and someone said something wise to me, dude. Like, it said PvP doesn't start when the first bullet is shot. So, what it means by that, as a miner, as a logistics guy, PvP starts way earlier than that. And that by that I mean, and I defend if you want to server hop and all that stuff, do it because like I said, all these systems are yet to be put in place. So when a guy comes and just shoots you and kind of flies off, it's because there's a lack of systems at the moment. Like I said, Stanton should be highly secure. If someone kills you, they're a criminal. They shouldn't be able to do any of the faction missions. They should have AI like trying to track them down, coming at them all the time, things like that, right? Making their life difficult. Um, they should be thrown in jail. They shouldn't have any merits transferred. I don't know if you can still transfer merits, but I've seen a lot of streamers who have merit farms. They get thrown in jail, and within zero point 0.8 seconds, I don't even know why you could transfer merits in this game. I have no idea why that was added. I don't know if someone could answer that for me in the comments below or whatever, but I don't know why that. It was almost like we don't want to throw big time streamers into prison, so we'll allow them to have millions of merits so they can just come out of prison because we want them to continue to play the game. I don't know. That's just my conspiracy theory, but that system's got to go. Maybe it already has. I'm not sure. Someone told me the merit system's gone. You can't transfer merits, but someone else said that you can. I haven't tested it. So as a PVEer, you just have to start just understand the verse, where the risks are, where the risks aren't. Look at the chat, for example. Is there people like I have a very good intuition now of looking at chat and seeing if the server's like extremely hostile or a bunch of guys that are gonna do a Congo line. Um, yeah, get a friend, put them in a turret maybe, and just do a bit of homework and preparation before you go somewhere. And if somewhere's like a hotspot, like Lyria for mining, you can choose to reduce your risk by going somewhere else and getting a little bit less profit, but ensuring that you might not get attacked. So
yeah, or
PvP,
hire escorts or whatever, and to get like some interaction in with other players too. And I mean, there's enough people who are just bored flying around and shooting others because they have nothing else to do. So yeah, maybe hire those as
yeah,
escorts.
yeah,
They'd be happy to shoot somebody for you, and you'd be safe. So everybody's got
exactly.
their little bit out of it.
Yeah, so that I think I'm done. I'm done with the PvP PvE thing. I think yeah, we're both PVXs, and Hopefully the player base doesn't get split up. Hopefully they don't put a PvE PvP slider because that would break my immersion seeing indestructible ships flying around.
Exactly that. Just imagine getting someplace and being like, ah, okay, now I'm gonna attack those two guys, and suddenly you can't anymore because, oh, I'm outnumbered. I'm just gonna activate the slider.
Yeah.
That's gonna be kind of game breaking.
Or imagine this extreme situation. Imagine an epic space battle, right? And then
Yeah,
this caterpillar comes straight through the middle of it, and he's like, "Sorry guys, I'm PVE guy." He just like flies
passing
through.
through.
Yeah, just passing through, guys. It's all good. Don't shoot at me. Oh, you can shoot at me. I don't care. I'm indestructible.
Yeah, no, please don't. Please don't do it, CIG.
So awesome. Thanks, Ace. I just wanted to get your opinion on this PVE PvP topic that has been raging on on Spectrum, and I was going to wrap up the podcast on that note, but I did want to talk about stream sniping because Mr. PPC here's on the chat. So I've been stream sniped by some horrible people that come shoot you in the back and kind of almost swear at you in the area chat thing, proximity comms or whatever. ATVC, yes, exactly right. Again, he's saying that hopefully the conversation will die down once Pyro comes in. Exactly. Once, if you've got a system that's secure and allows for more PvE with low risk, and you've got a system that's very high risk and PvP, then the player base will settle down in these two systems, and we will all live happily ever after together as neighbors in two different systems. So, spot on, TVC. But back to PPC. So, this is how you stream snipe, guys. I was impressed with this young man. I learned a lesson because I've been stream sniped by some toxic MFers that I've just like been like, got a cancer from just meeting these guys, right? Um, I'm I'm a small time streamer, and you know, I would never ever want. I've never ever reported anyone to CIG, and I never will. Right. My view on stream sniping is a sorry PPC, but most are. It's a cowardly act in the way that you have a massive advantage over the streamer. Massive. Like if I know exactly where you are, what weapon you're holding, and where you are, it's very easy for me to act accordingly. Right? Information is power. So you have a massive advantage. Huge. Which is fine. That's all good. That's the nature of streaming, right? That's the cost of streaming. The second point is um, the second. Well, what was the freaking second point? I forgot the second point. Jesus Christ, what was I going to say?
I don't know your points, dude.
The second point of stream sniping. Huge advantage. Da 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 da. Da. Anyway, um, and look, that's fair enough, right? But what where stream sniping can kind of go to an extreme is when the guy kills you multiple times, right? And that gets a little bit annoying, right? When he's constantly laying the same trap for you over and over again. So if you stream snipe, you kill a guy once or twice, and you move on to the next guy, brilliant. You know, no, there's nothing wrong with that. But PPC taught me how you stream snipe like a gentleman. This is the first thing he did was he followed my channel, Ace. So I saw his name, and he had the same in-game name, right? He didn't have two different names. He had the same name in the game as well as on my Twitch. So I was like, oh, okay. This guy's following me in the verse, but he's also followed me on Twitch with the same name. So I'm like, cool. He is watching me, and he's attacking me in the verse. Awesome. Like he's kind of declared that, dude, I'm on your ass and I'm following you, but I'm letting you know. And I was like, I can handle this. This is nice. And then anyway, he went about. We battled, and he killed me, I killed him, and he wasn't toxic about it at all, right? When I killed him, he was like GG's, and when he killed me, we were like GG's, and he wasn't toxic about it at all. Anyway, we ended up becoming friends, and we ended up working together at the end of it all. So I was like, that was the best stream snipe I've ever experienced. But he was kind of openly declaring, and during, not it wasn't as simple as that. During the whole stream, he was in my Twitch chat saying, I'm coming for you, man. Like, he got thrown in jail, and he was literally giving me updates on what he was doing. He was like, I'm in jail, I'm about to get out, I'm going to come back at you. And we're like, cool, this is awesome, so that was a very positive experience
At least.
uh, of stream sniping. Yeah. Whereas I've had some sort of really weird, dark, negative guys um, doing that like that.
But you run into those in any kind of situation, really.
Yeah.
I had one dude that got really toxic after he attacked me from inside the armistice zone, shot a rocket at me, and I shot him down. And then he started ranting for like 45 minutes straight, insulting the whole server. Like, oh, we're all 600-pound basement dwellers, basically. And
Right.
dude, and don't attack people if you can't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
you forget.
I mean, there's toxic people. There's just toxic people. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean,
You forget there's people with all sorts of issues that they're fighting with themselves and
yeah,
darkness
pretty
and
much.
yeah. Um, TVC says so. Anyway, big shout out to you, PPC. I enjoyed last night. It was awesome, mate. Like that Muppet who kept nailing our prospector with the pre-nerf ion. TVC, that's exactly the guy who stream sniped me on several occasions, again and again, and was really toxic about it. Sorry, this was my second point. This was my second point. So I got into a dogfight with that same guy, TVC, that toxic guy, and I lost. And this is where I'm not a Care Bear. This is where I'm the opposite of a Care Bear. Ace. This was my second point. I did not have the skill to kill him in a one-on-one dogfight. So when that happens, my attitude is I'm not good enough to beat this guy. I need to STF you until I can beat him. Now, if I can beat the crap out of someone and he continuously is just shooting me from behind or ramming into me or pad ramming me or whatever, then I think I would lose my bananas. But I think if the guy's also got more skill, then this is just me. I'm not saying it's wrong or right or whatever. It's just me. If I don't have the skill to defeat this guy, then that's on me, mate. I need to get better. I need to increase my skill. And that has been what I've been doing. So I've been getting a little bit better. So yeah, that was the second point that I forgot. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you all for joining me. Thanks, TVC, Barry, PPC. We're going to probably live stream the podcast every fortnight. It'll be available on YouTube, Spotify, and on Android. It's just called Podcasts, the app. So look out for it there. It's called, Pocket Casts is the app that's on Android. You can get this podcast there. Ace, man, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And we will do it next week. See you later,
Sure.
guys. Bye.
Play safe.